Hey guys, this is OddOneGaming back at you with another Raid Shadow Legends video. Today's video is going to be about the tournament that just popped today, which is the Spider one that requires us to use only champions from the Telerian Alliance. The Telerian Alliance is the Bannerlords, Elves, Sacred Order, and Barbarians. So what I want to go through now is give you several options, I guess free to play ones, and I guess pay to win ones to be able to complete this one, at least to get the milestone rewards, or even maybe win your group. Who knows? Depends on what champions you have or what people you have in your groups. So if you go through the options, we see that we have different choices. We can either go the HP burn strat or the enemy max HP strat. At the same time, there's two ways to do this. Either do stage 20, which is really good using champions that do enemy max HP. Like, for example, if you have a Septimus, which most people know that he can smack really hard on the spider with this one. Like with the right setup, he can one-shot the spider, but obviously not in this case, because in this case we can only use champions from the first 4 factions. Another option is, like I said, using the HP burn champs, which is we don't have so many. Like the only one, if I hope I'm not mistaken, that is available in these ones that does AoE HP burn is Mordecai from the Sacred Order, which is one of the best HP burns because when booked he has a 100% chance to place it. So basically he cannot weak hit, he will always place the HP burn unless he gets 3% to resist it or he doesn't have enough accuracy. So the good combinations that you could use is either go with, like I said, for stage 20 enemy max HP champs, where you would like to get some turn meter control and drop defense and weaken if possible, and then nuke down the spider with people like Septimus, or you have another option in the Telerian Alliance, which is Royal Guard. So these two are the only ones that do enemy max HP in the 4 factions. Actually, there's one more. I forgot about the god himself, Armiger. He doesn't do as much damage on his A2, but it can count. Armiger is gonna be like a really important one as well if you're using the HP burn strat for his decreased turn meter on the A1. He can be really solid for this one. So basically everybody can farm an Armiger, just book himself using copies of him and just max him out. As example, mine, I don't even have War Master on him yet, even though I've had him for like almost a year. And that's obviously gonna help you do more damage if you're going this strat. Other options around here is Deacon Armstrong as an example. He can be really good for this strategy because he has the good speed aura in all battles. He has the turn meter control, pushes our turn meter forward and their turn meter back and gets an extra turn. So basically this one's on a 2-turn cooldown. And he can do the AoE decreased defense, plus he has a leech on the A1. In case we get hit, we have the chance to heal back up. Other options around here, there's a second one, actually, second AoE HP burner, which is Venus, a Void Legendary though. And her HP burn is 75%, so she's not 100%. That's why Mordecai is better. She also does AoE decrease defense and weaken, and she has poisons on the A1. Her aura has HP in all battles, so not as helpful maybe. Something else that you can also try for survivability, if you know that you will take hits and you cannot control the spiderlings, you can bring a Roche card to do the AoE block damage if you have him, or a Sir Nick that brings unkillable, and he can do really big shields with his A2 because it's based on his on the damage he deals. So if you do an AoE drop defense before and then you do the A2 with Sir Nick, you'll have massive shields which will not fall down as easy. It's if he's booked it on a 3-turn cooldown, so it allows you to constantly take on the main spider's HP. If you don't have the AoE HP burn, you can just, I don't know, Armiger A2 or any other enemy max HP champs. Another option that you could use if you have these champs is look for a champion in these four factions that have HP burn on the A1, or like any single target HP burn. As an example, I guess would be Jotun, since we're in this one. He puts the HP burn after he's booked 100% for 4 turns, and there is a champion that could spread that one and make you make it as if you had an AoE HP burn champion, and that is Harken Greatblade. On her A3, she attacks one enemy, applies a debuff spread, which is going to be your HP burn, taking 2 random debuffs from the target and placing them on all enemies. Also extends the duration of these debuffs by 2 turns. So if you're somebody like a Jotun that does HP burn on the main spider for 4 turns, she would spread it on spiderlings, and that would be on for 6 turns. So basically you would have your HP burn set up, you would just need somebody to control, or somebody to place big shields like a miscreated monster. For control champions, there are several options. You can have somebody like a Seal of the Drakes, which does AoE stuns. When she's booked, it's 35% chance per hit, and she does AoE twice. It's not as reliable, it's not 100%, but if you don't have any other options, she's extremely good in there. Reason why is because she also brings a revive on a 4-turn cooldown. She brings passive heal and an increased speed randomly on an ally. And she has decreased turn meter and decreased speed. Having decreased speed on the main spider is also good. On her A1, and she is defensive based and she can survive. Another good option for control is, where is he? Rorik Wormbane. So if you happen to have this champion and maybe you have him booked or just have his A2 booked, on stage 20 especially, he will always deplete the turn meter. If you like, unless like the main spider's turn meter is as max, then it won't work. But if you do this one, he decreases turn meter by 75% of the main spider, then he would AoE stun all the spiderlings. So he could be a really good option for control as well, and he has speed in all battles as well as an aura. Apparently, I just realized that there's another HP burn. My mistake. So another one that maybe not so many people know about it. I've recently done a video on this person doing AoE HP burn on this spider is Elder Skark. So Elder Skark on his A2, if there are 3 debuffs on the target, he's gonna attack with the A2. He will do 3 extra hits, and if that happens, so basically you need to have like decreased defense, weaken, decrease, and another one, like any 3 debuffs basically. Any 3 debuffs, he attacks 3 times, then he does AoE True Fear and places AoE HP burn on all the spiderlings. So this is another option that you could use. He also has Fear on the A3, increased speed and increased crit rate on his A1, but you don't really care about everything else, just his A2 is the most important one that you care, because it does AoE HP burn and True Fears the spiderlings, which it's a little bit of control as well. Okay, other control champions that we could use, let me see so I'm not missing anybody. Obviously you could have options like putting a Skytar Shaman or a Soulbound Warrior in a stun set, but that is not as reliable, so that's why I don't want to go too much into that. Another option for control, which I will be using in a little bit, is Archmage Helmet, which I guess is a free-to-play option if you've done enough secret rooms on the normal Doom Tower. On his A2, after his book, he has a 75% chance of stunning everybody if the first hit is critical. So attacks one enemy, also attacks all other enemies if the first attack is critical. The second hit has a 75% chance booked of placing stun debuff for 1 turn. After attacking, decreases the turn meter of each enemy without a stun. So you either stun them or you push the turn meter back by 20%. He gains turn meter on his A1. Every time he's gonna crit because you're obviously gonna make him crit. And he brings increased speed, increased crit rate, and increased crit damage on his A3. The speed order doesn't matter because it's for arena. Another good option for control, let's see who else do we have here. If I'm missing somebody, I apologize. Another good option, to be fair, for control, it's not necessarily like controlling the spiderlings, but the damage they do. Another amazing option is Stag Knight, because he does AoE decreased defense and decreased attack. However, you need to make sure you get Sniper as a mastery on him to make it 100%, because booked it's only 95%. Having a decreased attack on the spiderlings makes it easier for you to tank it if you're using I don't know, somebody to tank some hits from the spiderlings because you don't have enough control. Also, he brings the decreased speed on the A1 for the spiderling, for the main spider, and it's a 2-hitter. Okay, let me see anything else that I'm missing. Another good champion for control is Lissandra, obviously. She has an insane aura, and she's the goddess of turn meter control. Increased speed, pushes back turn meter by 30%, and increases your turn meter by 30%. Fully depletes the turn meter on A2, which is on a 3-turn cooldown, and if she gets poisoned, she transfers all the debuffs to the main spider. So she's another really awesome option. Another option which everybody has and could be used is Arbiter. Because you don't have to, it's obviously it's easier if you have like a backup to have an AoE revive and boost turn meter by 30%, which she does on her A3 on a 3-turn cooldown. So if I'm not mistaken, she's gonna be one of my teams. Another option for like control could be Basilius Ruanas. If you have him booked, he has a 100% chance of placing a stun on his A3 if booked. If he doesn't place the stun, he pushes back the turn meter by 50%, but depends on the level you're gonna fight. If you're gonna do 20 spirit, so he can weak hit. Shirimani could also be an option if you have her booked. She does AoE freeze, but she's on a 5-turn cooldown, which is pretty long, and you're not gonna be able to rotate back to her skill fast enough, and the spiderlings will attack you a lot. One of the damage champions, obviously Royal Guard with his takedown. He also has decreased speed on his A3. Another champion that can do a little bit of control is Tyrell, one of the OGs. He has this one, which he depletes the turn meter by 50% on his A3. Even though it's on a 4-turn cooldown, if you rotate fast enough through his abilities, he's going to be able to do this one and help you control the turn meter alongside an Armiger or somebody else in there. And he also brings AoE decreased defense on his A2, again on a 4-turn cooldown. Let me see, did I miss anybody? There's several other options. Oh yeah, another champion that could be really good for control, which I missed, but maybe most people have him used as a nuker like I'm using myself, which is Astron. He has a 100% chance when booked of placing AoE stun. I used him as a stun for Spider a while back, but now I have Atchak, so I'm just using him at the moment. Okay, so let's go and test a few runs here. I already prepared some. I already tried some teams out to basically show. So let's go for stage 20 first of all. So for stage 20, let me see. I put this team, which is basically, I was trying to use as many free-to-play options as possible. So obviously everybody has an Arbiter, hopefully, like if they're done the missions, they have Arbiter. You have Arbiter, you can have Helmet from doing the Doom Tower and Armiger in there. Here you can be, instead of maybe, I don't know, instead of Helmet you can bring a Sail if you don't have Helmet yet, but you should. Deacon is obviously for turn meter control, Royal Guard is for the nuking strat. So for this one, I tried to go on stage 20, the most efficient one for me, which was trying to nuke down the spider. It's the fastest, it works. So we pushed back the turn meter, we drop defense, increase crit rate, crit damage, turn meter control, take down from Royal Guard, 1.3 million damage. And this one rotates pretty fast. Helmut, as you've seen, he can do some pretty solid damage if you build him right. Like I have mine built at 200 and a bit speed and 192 crit damage, so nothing too crazy. But he can smack really hard on his A2, which he either stuns them or he just kills them. Obviously this is stage 20, so doing the enemy max HP strat works. As you saw, Armiger did his enemy max HP on his A2 as well. Arbiter can also bring the weaken for us on her A1, which makes it easier when Royal Guard comes back to his takedown, which is his A2, the enemy max HP hit. Mine might come back to it faster because I built mine in a reflex for Hydra, but you don't necessarily need to have him in a reflex. You can have him in any set because of the turn meter boosts that we have from Arbiter and from Deacon. He's gonna rotate back to it pretty fast, and we're gonna get close to killing the spider pretty fast. Like the speed might be slower because when I'm recording my FPSs go down, but normally this takes about 1 minute and 20, which is not as bad for a team that you have to use specific champions. I don't have several Royal Guards built, and I don't have Septimus, because if I would have had those champs, I would have obviously gone the way with Septimus to just bring decreased defense weaken and one-shot the spider. So as you see, this was pretty fast, 1 minute 40 because it's slow, about 20 seconds faster if it would have been, if I wasn't recording it. If somebody wants to do the same thing on stage 24, which maybe is not the best option because you're trying to be efficient, and the most efficient way is to do stage 20 for earning tournament points. So if you use the right energy for the right points, stage 20 is the best one to do that. But I tried the stage 24 with an AoE HP burn champ, and this one again has 3 free-to-play champions. Again, Helmet, again Armiger, and again Syl. Reason why I'm not going to stage 25 is because stage 25 is magic affinity, and the two of these champs are gonna weak hit a lot and is not reliable. Okay, so this one we're gonna try it out and see, because we're gonna go the AoE HP burn strategy where we need to control the main spider's turn meter and let the HP burn stick. We have the turn meter control from Armiger, Deacon, Syl, and Mordecai, and we have the spiderling control from Syl and from Helmet with their AoE HP burns. Like, something that I could do here, and I think I should have done that, is I could take away the Deacon's A2 maybe to not make him kill the spiderlings as fast. Because if somebody from us dies, we will have Syl to revive. So Syl will do the stuns, and then next turn she's gonna do the revive and revive Armiger to make him come back into battle. This one will be reliable. Even if we get killed, we have Syl to do the revives and bring back some of the champions. So you just have them built a little bit tankier. You just want them to survive, not necessarily do as much damage. As you see, we had champions that died. So we had Deacon and Syl and Armiger that died. As soon as Syl comes back to revive, she can just do the revive on Deacon first, because obviously he's the higher affinity, and then on Armiger. We keep the spiderlings, as you see, control with the stuns from Syl and from Helmet, and then we just wait to get back the AoE HP burn from Mordecai. Obviously the best set which I'm using myself on Syl is the Relentless, so she comes back to her abilities faster, and she heals back as well faster. As you see, she keeps getting extra turns, she comes back to her stun, comes back to her revive, so that's one of the best sets to use out there. As you see, again we get the stuns, we keep focusing on the main spider, HP burns keep ticking. We didn't die now because she didn't have the hit where she eats the spiderlings, which hits harder. As we see, everything it keeps ticking. We start killing the spiderlings, and now we're gonna rotate back to the HP burn. Obviously this one takes a little bit slower because we don't have that. At least me, I don't have enough turn meter control on my team. If I had Lysandra, this might have been easier. But as soon as we get HP burns back on, you see everything works well. We keep the stuns going on. Even if people stop dropping, like I said, Syl starts reviving. The HP burns keep ticking, and we're gonna be good. I could even maybe tank up my Armiger a bit higher. At the moment, my Armiger is in my Scarab King build, which is in a Destroy set, so he's not as tanky as I would want it to be. This one takes more, like I said, on stage 24, 2 minutes and like 44 seconds, might be 2 minutes and a half, 2 minutes 20 if I'm not recording, because I'm not using unlimited FPS. So there's options. I would suggest to anybody who would try to do this, to do it on stage 20, obviously, because it's easier. So you can either go the HP burn strat, or you can go the enemy max HP strat. There are several options to use in there, as I've mentioned earlier. I hope this was helpful for you guys. Hope you enjoyed. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. And I will see you all in the next video. Peace. Love you all. Goodbye.